Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I help you build an impactful online business. In today's video, we are actually doing a free Etsy critique. This is one of the many free critiques I do every single month. So you might be an actual winner today. So make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end to see if you are the lucky winner. Now, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, consider subscribing today. I do upload weekly videos to help you build an impactful Etsy business. And don't forget to grab this free Etsy SEO guide that will help you get started the right way by optimizing your store and listings for SEO. You will find the link right below the video. So let's head over to my computer to see who is today's lucky Etsy critique winner. All right, so here we are, and today's lucky winner is Amaro Prince by Glory Medina. So thank you, Glory, for applying for a chance to win the critique, which you did. Guys, I'm trying to create a sense of community that we all come together, we all help each other out, we could all learn from each other. So make sure that you leave any valuable feedback for her, especially if I didn't cover something that you think I should have covered. Make sure that you leave a comment below. And everything that I'm about to go over on her store is applicable for any type of niche and any store. So make sure that you watch all the way till the end. Now, what I normally do on a critique, Glory, is that I take a particular listing and I kind of break it down. I talk about product photography, I talk about your title and your listing description, and I talk about what you should include in them, which is the on-page SEO factors, the off-page SEO factors. In addition to that, I talk about the curation of your store, branding, and much more. And I break it down into sections so it's easy for you to kind of follow along. Now, the listing that I'm doing an audit on is this one here. So the first thing I always talk about is product presentation. It's really important that when you sell on an e-commerce platform, whether it's on Etsy, Shopify, your own website, that you have multiple pictures of whatever you're selling. You only have 2 photos right now. This photo looks pretty clear. I have a clear understanding of what I'm getting. I'm not confused. So you did a really great job there. You have a photo of your actual print, a little bit more zoom in so people could see how it actually looks, which is great. And then what I would do is focus on adding more photos. So having maybe another lifestyle photo, or maybe the picture on the living room. Having a video, you could upload videos now. Why not test it out? You could do a video of a review. I did that in my YouTube channel. I have a video that I made of that. You could create a video of you working behind the scenes. You could create a video of you working on this particular print if you wanted as well. It's just being creative and adding more stuff to it. You definitely want to add more than just 2 photos. I always say at least 5. If you're not going to do all 10, at least 5. Take advantage of every feature that Etsy provides to you. If this is like your main store, like maybe you have multiple stores like I do, but I'm not sure. But if this is your main store, let's say this is a store that you want to potentially grow and quit your full-time job if you have one at the current moment, then you need to go hard on the store. Basically, you need to make sure that you're adding 5 or 10 if you can, all your photos. That if you get stuck, like you don't know how many photos or what types of photos, go look at other stores, get inspired. I'm not saying that you have to copy people. I'm saying that you could go to another store and see what they did and be like, oh, that's a great idea. I could kind of do the same thing and kind of put my own twist to it. Just do that. Sometimes we do need inspiration, right? From other people. You don't have to spend countless hours trying to figure it out when other people are doing it. Just look at what they did and do it better, or add your spin to it, which looks way different and it doesn't look like you're copying, right? So make sure that you add more photos. You could also have a picture where you ask people, hey, don't forget to favor this listing, or don't forget to favor our store. And that's just a marketing strategy that you could start implementing. Is it going to get you rich overnight? No, it's not. But the main objective of having people favor your listing or favor your store is that every single time that you update your listings, maybe you have a sale or something, these individuals will get a notification from Etsy automatically. There's nothing that you do from your end, but they get a notification saying, hey, by the way, this particular store is having a special right now. If you're interested, and then they'll show the listing and they'll have like whatever listing that they favorite. So hopefully from there they'll come back because they're already engaged with your brand. They already like the product because they liked it. That's why they favored it. And hopefully if they didn't buy the first time around, hopefully the second or third time they'll go ahead and buy from you. So that's just one strategy that you could start implementing. It doesn't cost anything. You could add the same photo for every single listing, the same. Just create one generic photo that says, don't forget to favorite this listing to stay updated with any changes or sales or anything you want to put in there, but just asking people, right? A lot of times when you sell online, you have to ask people to do stuff. Some people don't know that they could favor this right here. Some people don't know that, they could go in front of your page, in front of your homepage and favor right here, right? Your store. Some people don't know that. So having a picture with this screenshot with an arrow pointing to the favorite the store is another great thing that you can add as a picture, and that already gives you 4 images right there, plus the additional images that you're going to add. So that's going to help you add more content, but you definitely want to add more than 2. Now, the second thing we want to talk about is your title. And I know for Etsy, I'm still changing majority of my listings. They don't want us to do keyword stuffing anymore, and I understand why we do it. Keyword stuffing is adding as many keywords as you can in the title that you potentially want to rank for. So you're trying to optimize your title. The issue with keyword stuffing, I have had this issue as well with my wedding store, is that when you add a lot of keywords in the title, I have had this issue in YouTube as well, actually, by the way. I have added too many keywords and people get confused on the title. They don't know what video they're going to watch. The same thing kind of happens on Etsy. You put a lot of keywords. There are people that do pay attention to titles. I'm not saying every person reads the title, but some people might read it and be like, what am I getting? What am I getting? Because you have all these variations of tags and they don't understand that you put all those tags there for SEO purpose, not so much for a title, I guess, but it is a title at the same time. So what you want to make sure that you do is that your title is easy to read, but it's also optimized for SEO. So you don't want to not optimize it, but you want to make sure that when the customer is reading the title, they don't feel confused. It will not turn them off, or will not be like, okay, forget it, I'm going to go somewhere else. You don't want that. So you definitely want to make sure that you write a user-friendly title that's optimized for SEO. I think your title is fine. However, based on what Etsy wants us to do, they will consider this keyword stuffing because there is a lot of keywords like hand painting, watercolor, greenery, love bunch print, digital wall art, clip art. See, so somebody reading this might be like, wait, is it a wall art? Is it a clip art? What am I getting? And that's the confusion that Etsy doesn't want for us to confuse the buyers with, even though we know that the reason why we put those things is because this product could be, I guess, a digital product, wall art, but it's also a clip art, I guess. I don't know if you're selling as a clip art because it looks like if you're using that keyword clip art, that means that you're selling it as an artwork that they could download and use themselves as a clip art. So that is a little bit confusing there as well, but that's the reason why. So what I would do is make sure that you have your focus keyword, which is a keyword that you want to rank for, and potentially that is also the keyword that your page will be named after in the beginning of your title. So this is your main keyword here, and it also becomes a URL of that page. The same with your name sections. And then in addition to that, just, add more keywords, but make sure that it flows organically, makes sense when the person is reading it. And then what you want to do addition to that is that if this is your main keyword here, hand painted, watercolor, greenery, love bunch print, you want to make sure that you have these in your tags. You might have to break them down because they're over 20 characters. So you might have to group them by 2 tags at a time. And then you want to make sure that your main keyword is in the first 155 characters, which is considered your meta description, and it should be here. So looking at your actual listing right now, you're not optimizing your listing for SEO. You don't have keywords in your listing description. Your meta description doesn't have your focus keyword. You're doing keyword stuffing. So it just looks like you're not optimizing it correctly. And if you're not optimizing your listings for SEO, that does impact the traffic that you get in your store, because the algorithm, X's algorithm, and even Google algorithm will know what your page is about because you haven't put in those keywords. So SEO is basically how Google and other large search engines, including X's search engine, understand what your page is about. And that's why it's so important to add context in your actual listing description and add those keywords in there. Is really important because that's how the system will recognize what the page is about. If somebody searches for those keywords and you have it in your title, in your listing, and in your tags, those particular listings will rank higher in the search results. Hopefully people will find your products and then you'll get more sales, right? It's a little bit of everything, because SEO is how they find you. The photo is what makes them want to click in the first place. And then the listing description, this right here, is what seals the deal. It's what makes them feel comfortable to say, oh, okay, I have all the information that I needed to know. Let me go ahead and buy. So everything works together. I'm not saying every single individual is going to read the listing description. Trust me, I get many people that actually don't read it. However, for the most part, that's how it works. And even if people are not reading your listing description, it's important that you craft a really great listing description, because not only does it help you with the people that actually do read, it also helps you with SEO because you're including your tags in there. So you're going to rank higher in the search results. So at the end of the day, you have to create a really great, strong listing description. So let's look at your tags and then we'll come back to your listing. Guys, I'm using eRank Pro. So I do have the paid version in case it looks different than yours. I do recommend the paid one. I'm not an affiliate with them or anything. I just recommend their products because the owner, Anthony Wolf, is amazing. He always have like great resources. He's always updating his tool. He's very easygoing, very customer service. He has a great team behind him. And they are approved by Xe too. So this is a third party app that's approved by Xe. So that's pretty cool as well. So it's just a great tool overall to help you grow. Not sure how the data is pulled from Xe. I'm assuming if Xe gave them permission, then, or they're integrated with Xe, then they have some sort of data that's getting pulled directly from Xe. But I do know that overall, like I just mentioned, it's an amazing tool that you could use just to learn more about Xe, learn about market research, learn about doing keyword research, etc. And this is your listing right now, right here. And these are your tags. These are the tags that you are currently using. And one of the things that you really need to focus on is SEO, and learn is SEO. And when you're doing tags, right? When you're doing research for your tags, what I recommend is sitting down, looking at your products, right? Whatever you sell, you look at your products and you write down, what would my ideal customer, if my ideal customer was searching for this, print, which is a greenery love print, what would they type, right, in the search results to find my product? If I was looking for that product, I wouldn't type in bathroom. I wouldn't type in green. These are very broad keywords. That's why you see the competition. One is very high competition. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't use keywords that have high competition, but it is a lot harder to rank for them because there's so many people competing in that same pool for that tag. In addition to that, these are so broad that you're not really targeting your ideal customer. If I was looking for that particular print, I wouldn't type in the word ivy by itself, right? I would maybe type in ivy print with leaf or something. Like, I'd be very specific. That's what you need to do. If I was looking for that print, I wouldn't type in Italian. If I go to Etsy right now and I type in the word Italian, right? That's very generic. That could pretty much be anything on Etsy. And look at how many different things come up. Excuse me. Look at how many things come up with that word. Necklaces and these little shirts for dogs. And So that word is not really driving you any traffic. There's over 457,000 people using that word. And then even on Google, the competition is pretty high. There's 3 million searches per month, but that means that there's a lot of people using that keyword as well. So always think about what your target audience, how would they type in your products? And then once you have that list, come up with at least 10 keywords. You will go to tools. If you have the pro one, you will go to keyword tool, and you will put in each keyword, and you will do additional research. And I know it takes time, and I know SEO is like, oh my God, now I got to do all this extensive research. But it's really important to do that because that's going to develop you learning how to use SEO the right way. So the first step is just sitting down, coming up with a list of keywords that accurately describes what you sell. It could be long tail keywords. It could be unique phrases. The second phase is, okay, let me do research on these keywords that I came up with. You could type in keywords here just to get ideas. You could put leaf print, right? Just to get ideas. What are the people searching? And you could type in these keywords, leaf print wall art. Let's say you think that that's an accurate keyword, and you will write that down on a piece of paper. So you could do search here, and you could do search on just by you thinking of different ways that your audience will look for that particular item. Once you create that list, then you need to see the data of that list. You can't just take a keyword from here and just use it without you first finding out the average search volume, the competition, etc. So I always recommend average search volume at least 500 and more, right? But the competition, what I have found for when I was doing freelance and I was doing like SEO for clients, the stores that perform better were the stores that were doing the numbers. And I kind of stick with these numbers now for my main store is 500 search volume, average search volume here. And then competition, I always pick the ones that were 30,000 or less. That was kind of like my sweet spot. That's when I started seeing more revenue. I'm targeting the right people because now I'm using the right tags. But in addition to that, I'm ranking organically for these tags. A lot of these, because there's so much competition, if you don't become a bestseller when you upload your listing the original time, when you use these keywords that have so much competition over time, you drop and then you get buried in the search results, which is the downside. However, if you rank for that keyword and you become a bestseller, oh my God, it's amazing for you because you're going to get so much traffic time after time after time that's going to be beneficial for you. So it really depends on your product and service. If you really feel like you could rank for a very competitive keyword, then try it. You don't lose anything. However, what I have noticed for myself as well is that I try to compete for keywords that I could, if I don't become a bestseller right away, at least I have a fighting chance of appearing on the first or second page. So that's the reason why I picked those numbers, which are a little bit lower, but that's the main reason. And keep in mind that your traffic might change. You might see, like right now, a lot of traffic, but no one's buying, but that's because you're using keywords that, do have high monthly search volume. So you might get a lot of views, but you're not really targeting the right people, so no one's buying. And when you use like long tail keywords or unique phrases, usually those have like two keywords or more, and the search volume is a lot less. And so therefore, you'll see like a decrease in views. However, hopefully you'll see an increase in your sales because now you're driving more quality people versus before you were showing your products to anyone and everyone, not getting the results, not getting the sales. It hurts your conversion rate with Etsy. It does affect where your listing ranks because Etsy's like, well, so many people saw that listing, no one purchased. Let's go ahead and bury this listing, and you don't want that. So you definitely do need a lot of help with SEO. But if you follow these tips, it's going to really make a huge difference for your store. And once you have your new keywords, all you're going to do, Glory, is that you're going to pick the keyword that has the highest search volume with the least competition. You're going to put it as your main keyword in the beginning of your title. And then every other keyword, You're going to put it also in your meta description, and then every other keyword you're going to integrate in your listing description as organic as possible, because that's going to help you rank higher in the search results. And another thing is that you put all these keywords here, like you have digital wall art, you have clip art, you have sage green wedding decor. But when I look at your tags, right, for that particular listing, you're not using any of those keywords. See? Like, you put all these keywords here, which I understand why you did it. However, you're not using it in your actual listing. You don't have, one of them is what? Clip art, PNG. There's nothing here. Then you have the other one, clip art, right? There's nothing here with that. So obviously there's a disconnection with the SEO, but don't worry about it. I do want to say, my videos are to encourage people. My videos are to inspire you to be better and learn things. We all have room for improvement. Every day I learn something new. Every day I'm like, oh my God, I could have made that better, or I could do better, or I could change this, or I could say it this way instead. So that's my hope for this video, is not to call you out in any way, because we all have room for improvement. So once you start applying these things and you start learning and doing it more proactively, you'll get better and better and better. And then eventually, who knows, you might be an SEO expert in a year from now, right? It happens all the time. So just keep that in mind, that I noticed that. Another thing that I noticed is that you have, okay, I guess you do have a PNG of the image, so you do provide them a copy. Um, I personally wouldn't provide them a copy, because that means that they could use it for their own projects unless you're okay with that. But always keep in mind that if you create the artwork yourself, then you could do whatever you want. But if you are not the creator of the artwork, you could create something out of it and sell it, but you're not allowed to pre-sell, right, that person's artwork for someone else to use for their projects. So just keep that in mind, just in case. And then, making sure that this is more full, like your listing description is lacking. So making sure that you include everything and anything the customer needs to know. So how to order. I know it sounds like crazy, right? You would think, oh, you just go here and buy it. I include everything, because I've learned the hard way that there are people that is their first time shopping. There are people that they never bought a digital print before. There are people that never been on Etsy, so they don't really know how to navigate it well. So if you make it easier for everyone, it just looks like you care. It looks like you put a lot of effort behind your store. And actually, you don't lose anything by adding extra details, to be quite honest. I love people that are very detail oriented. I at one point wasn't as detail oriented. I had to learn how to become, and I'm still trying to become better and better at it, because it wasn't something that I was strong at before, and I'm getting better at it now, and I understand the benefit of being detail oriented. And so having like how to order, what you get, what's included, returns and refund. Hey, you have any questions? Feel free to contact me. Having all that information, making them feel like, no matter what, if you buy from me, you have any questions, you could feel free to reach out to me. Customer service, right? Going above and beyond. So I would definitely have that there. I will include, because you sell digital products, some type of like PDF explaining how to download the file, how they could get it printed out. That way, later on, they don't want to contact you not knowing how to do so. At least you have like a PDF for them ready with their download. I think that would be great. And other than that, I think you're doing a pretty good job. It's just learning the SEO factor. You have been with Etsy since 2019. I don't know if you started like at the end of 2019, not sure. But you definitely should have had a little bit more pictures by now, a better listing description, maybe even a couple more listings. I'm not saying there's a magic number. To be quite honest, I mean, I have stores that have a lot of listings, stores that have less listings. I have seen stores that done better than mine, and they only have like a fraction, right? So there's no magic number. I think it's more of your products. If you have something very unique and different, that's what makes you stand out from everyone else that sells similar products. I think you did a great job with your logo and having a beautiful picture of yourself with a smile. I wanted to check your category here. Excuse me. Category. yeah, you did good with the categories. So I don't have to say anything there. I like your logo because I do like it. It looks clear. It's pretty. What I would recommend, maybe doing the XC Plus in the future. I know a lot of people don't care for it because it's more money. I always recommend it. I think only because I do like the personalization of it. Out of everything that it offers, I like that they have the sliding banner. And if I had a store that was like my main store, like the one I want to make like in grow, I like to add all the features I can, because the banner that changes, you could have a banner like your main banner, you could have one of all your new items, you could have another one of like promoting any special, and grab the special by joining here and having like your email list, like, so you could do so much more. But I think the one thing that stands out for me with the XC Plus is that you can make your store more personal or more customizable, excuse me, versus, because there's so much limitation already on Etsy. You go down here, when you're looking at a listing, right? The customer potentially could go down here and look at other people's listings down here. So you're already restricted. So why not make your store the most personalized and customized as much as possible to make your store stand out and look different? That's just my opinion. It doesn't mean you have to get it. You don't need it to be successful. Okay. So I want to make sure I say that. I just like that feature. So that's why I was recommending it. Make sure that you name your sections for SEO purposes. You should divide your sections and do the same exercise. Sit down, think about your products, what type of products you're selling, and then looking up keywords that you could rank for, and then using those to name your sections so you could rank for more keywords, because the sections are just like the listing pages. That section becomes part of that URL. That URL becomes a page that's shown on Google and the search feed. So it does help you drive more traffic to your store. Great job for having an About Me section. That's really great. What I would do is down here is add more links. Make sure that you start email marketing right away, as today if you can. Making sure that you have a link here that says, hey, by the way, we have an email, join our email list. You could put it here. Etsy does not mind it as long as people are opting in and you're not adding people to the list. That's not allowed. However, if the customer opts in and signs up for it, you can do that. And I highly recommend doing so, because over time, the more emails you have, the more you could market to them. And then even you could get new customers from that email, because you could create something called lookalike audiences on Facebook, where you tell Facebook, hey, find me new customers that are similar to my paying customers. And then you could target your products to those people, which is pretty amazing. So that's the reason why email marketing is so many benefits, but mostly because you'll get continuous sales on a regular basis when done correctly. So definitely do that as well. But yeah, I mean, overall, great job for having a beautiful store. I think you definitely do need work on your photos, on your SEO, on your listing description, on optimizing your whole entire store for SEO, and really taking this from a hobby to a business. And the reason why I say that is because when you take it as a business, you're going to add all these things. You're going to take your time and say, oh, I'm going to have to add 10 photos. It's so annoying, but I know that in the long run, right, it's going to help me get more clicks and hopefully more sales. Oh, I'm going to have to write this listing description, be very detailed, make sure I include all my keywords. It's going to take me so much time. But I know in the long run, right, that listing description is very detailed might get me more sales. Always keep that in mind. But other than that, I think that you're doing a terrific job. Congratulations on your store. Guys, if you have any tips for Glory, please leave them below. I mean, like I said in the beginning, we're all trying to help each other grow. There's enough success or enough space for everyone to be successful on Etsy. So make sure that you leave your comments and feedback below this video. And thank you guys for watching.